Now that's how you start an anime!
Very few animes in recent time have been able to get me sitting on the edge of my seat in anticipation like Summertime Rendering has. If there was edging in anime, this is what it would look like. The time travel anime genre has never really interested me in the slightest. In fact, I've never really watched an anime simply because it had time travel in it, despite there being some amazing animes of the genre, such as Steins Gate, Steins Gate Zero, Steins Gate Egoistic Poryomania, Steins Gate Open the Missing Link, no not you, and Redo of Healer, which is why it shocked me when I found myself more invested in Summertime Render than I was trying to find Super Saiyan 2000 as a kid. There was one rather large problem with this anime though.
Where the hell is it?
Although it is ranked so highly on my anime list, when comparing the popularity to those around it, it's drastically lower, because this anime is harder to find than Goku and Saitama fans that agree on anything. The only current legal way to watch it is to go on Disney Plus with a VPN set to Japan, which is why this review is gonna be a little different, because I'm only gonna try to spoil up to episode 2, and at any point you feel like, hey, I want to watch Among Us meets ReZero, then click off this video, because I find the best way to watch this show is to go into it blind. Hey, won't saying this ruin your YouTube analytics? Oh crap. If you do enjoy watching Shinpei Days of Future Past, then be sure to subscribe to both my channels and join my Discord. Let me give you a satire synopsis of this anime, which will contain spoilers for the first few episodes. 2 years before the main story, Shinpei decided that he would leave his hometown to pursue his dream of working in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. However, he's returning home to attend the funeral of his childhood friend, who was part of the family that adopted him after his parents' death.
もちろん大事に思ってるけど、家族として。
Like, as in a regular family or an anime family?
After being reunited with his other foster sister Mio, they go to the funeral. Shinpei's friend tells him that there was an autopsy done on her and it appears that she was murdered. Mio tells him that before she died, they saw someone that looked just like her. On this island, there's a legend about shadows that can copy people, take their memories, and then replace them. While investigating this, he finds the woman from the ferry has been shot.
Okay, who keeps playing that?
He finds a shadow of Mio, and then... Hey, I've seen these boobs before. Hey, I've seen my sister's panties before. This must be deja vu.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You can return to a very specific point in time every time you die!
That makes more sense. You get to watch Shinpei as he tries to figure out who these shadows are and why are they killing people and taking their places.
Hey, that's just like Among Us.
It's nothing like Among Us.
そこら中にいるよ、まったく。
You're not helping! Like most time reversal animes, watching Shinpei slowly learn more and more about what's going on with each death is the main driving force of the plot, and I would argue that this anime uses this trope even better than ReZero does. By giving Shinpei certain limitations to his ability, it drastically changes the way that looping works in this story, meaning that he can't just spam looping back to this point, no matter how much the rest of us would. Now, let's talk about the characters in this anime, starting off with Tanjiro himself. Although they do share the same voice actor, I was more referring to how much he loves his sister.
お前とはこんな形で家族になりたくないんだ。
There's always room for family.
Now, this is a bit complicated, so let me use a chart to demonstrate. Shinpei likes her, and she likes him, but they won't admit it. But she also likes him, and will admit it. But he likes her, but she likes her? And since it is an island, they're probably all related anyways, making this a big family tree. But for simplicity, let's just say it's this and move on. You know how Subaru's reckless and not that strategic? Shinpei is the opposite of that. He's much more methodical. But unlike some self-insert edgy Reddit users, when he has a slight inconvenience, he doesn't go, welp, guess I'll die. Approved Wincest here. For every yin, there must be a yang. For every isekai protagonist, there must be a truck-kun. And for every lonely weeb, there must be... But for every calm, calculated guy, there must also be a reckless girl with him. Ushio is the over-enthusiastic character who's extremely naive. You may be thinking, hey, didn't she die at the beginning? And my answer to that is go watch the show. Oh no, I sound like a light novel reader now. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy. Maybe she's a ghost, a shadow. She could have even faked her own death. The only important thing is...
戦うんやったら水着が一番ってわけ。
Spoiler tier. Hey, do you hear that? It sounds like another second place finisher! Allow me to present you with Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. What do they all have in common? Short hair. When many people watched the first episode, they thought without a doubt this was going to be Best Girl. I mean, she's a tan, shy, happy girl. Basically Nagatoro, if she wasn't traumatizing people. But she did have one rather large shortcoming, not being abusive. I mean a tsundere. Background character tier. Oh look, a hill. Alright, time to die on this hill. Hizuru's Best Girl, and let me give you 2 reasons why. I rest my case. Hizuru's an author with a split personality who's hunting shadows. And just like my one true role model, Hannah Montana, taught me, she has the best of both worlds. Best Girl tier. Time for final thoughts and rating the anime. When it comes to the plot, there are very few animes that have hooked me by episode 1, like Attack on Titan and High School DxD did. Since there were so many mysteries revealed by episode 6, I was so certain that the anime would slow down with the sheer amount of new information being introduced. But to me, there was not a single moment that I felt I truly understood the entire story until the end. Let me show you a graph to demonstrate. This is what a normal story looks like. And here we have Summertime Render. When you hit a climax, a bigger climax comes right after it, and I'm gonna shut up now, but you get the point. I like to think that I can usually guess what the big twist in an anime will be. But even though there is one every single episode, I really only guessed the ending right, which was a very satisfying ending that really did a great job at explaining how time travel works and didn't feel like a major ass pull at the end. Were there small plot holes? Well, yeah, it is time travel, but none big enough to affect the story. The weakest part of this entire anime is probably the characters. These aren't complicated characters at all. I mean, most of them only have a few sentences to describe their personalities and goals. However, I don't think that this story needed complex characters. Each were still fleshed out enough that you still felt connected to them. Each set of characters had enough chemistry that the fan service and comedy never felt out of place. But do you know what really did bother me?
何をしてるんや人殺して入れ替わって何が目的なんや
This slang that they use the entire show. Guess I'll just read the manga. Oh, come on. While I'm not taking anything away from it, reading them talk like this just made me feel like I was reading in country. The real driving force of this anime is not my overwhelming urge to feel like L solving a murder mystery, but the suspense factor, which is something that this anime really nails with its sounds, music, and animation. I now have a new sound that I fear, which is... That's right, I'm afraid of the sound of cameras. Thanks, Summertime Render. The OSTs were all phenomenal and really felt fitting for the anime. The animation was also great, and no matter how many still shots there were, when it came down to the serious moments, the details were simply exquisite. If you do finish this and you want more, you can read Summertime Render 2026. It's only 2 chapters long, but it was pretty good. Although my vision of what a great anime is may be a little distorted from all my time watching isekais recently, to me, this was truly one of the greatest animes that I've seen in recent times, coming from Yasuki Tanaka, a mangaka that I've never really heard about until now. And although it may never go down as a masterpiece everybody talks about, well done. Truly, well done.
あっぼけそんなん言われたら決心鈍りそう
0 out of 10. I now have a fear of shadows. Hello, Photoshop Thanksgiving Lunar here. Click here to check out my second channel. Click here to check out the recommended video. And click over here to check out the most recent video. Channel changes coming soon, because my channel feels boring and stagnant. Okay, bye.